Hi, it's Jeffrey Demuria, your Space Coast Realtor, and today I want to talk about new construction homes and should you use a realtor when purchasing one. First, you're going to have two choices whenever purchasing a home here on the Space Coast. One's going to be a resale home, one which someone has formerly lived in, and one is going to be new construction home where you're the first people to ever live there. Um, with new construction homes, you're going to have some advantages and disadvantages when purchasing. Some advantages of new construction homes: it's to your style and taste. You're not going to have to, cut down and pull down grandma's old wallpaper, or if you hate paint colors, repaint rooms. Generally, it's going to be very neutral. Even if it's a spec home, it'll be very neutral, and you won't have to redo a whole lot to move in yourself. You'll be the first one ever to live there. Um, the next thing is you're going to get a warranty with a new construction home from 1 to 10 years. Again, depending on the builder, you'll generally get 10 years for things like foundation and structural. You'll get 1 to 2 years on things like electrical. Anything within the walls tends to be 2 years in most builder warranties, but everyone's a little bit different. So again, that's something to discuss with your realtor. The I think the third major advantage of a new construction neighborhood, one that's in a plan unit development or subdivision, is that cliques have not yet developed with the people within the neighborhood. If you're moving from out of state and you don't have a lot of friends within the area, what happens with a new construction neighborhood is most of the people who live there will be in a similar situation as you. Their friends will either be a little bit away or they'll be moving here from out of state, and it's just easier to make friends in a situation like that. And in an established neighborhood, sometimes it's very cliquey and more difficult for you to make friends within the neighborhood and with the neighbors. There are some disadvantages to new construction homes. First off, trees. Trees tend to be stick figures within plan unit developments and subdivisions. They're small, they're planted by the builder, there's a minimal amount in foliage, landscaping. They give you a package, and it's up to you to get that package to grow properly and to get the trees to grow, and it takes some time. The good news is you're moving to the Space Coast. If you're coming from out of state, there's a 12-month growing season. You'll have no trouble getting them to grow up reasonably quickly. You can look at 2 and 3-year-old neighborhoods and see how quickly those trees have grown up. Pretty amazing. The next disadvantage would be that issues that take time to develop have obviously not yet developed. As an example, settling cracks, foundation issues, things like that. Well, it takes time to see if those are going to develop. They have not yet. That has not yet happened. The one thing you don't have with new construction is time. That's why the builder's warranty is so important. It's important to make sure what you're getting and who's covering it. Really the next major issue that you have with new construction is that if you are somebody who likes to drive around and look at all the new neighborhoods and you go in, if that new construction salesperson hands you a card, tell them you don't want to fill it out. Let me explain why. That card is designed for you to sign away your rights to representation. Keep in mind that new builder salesperson, they're hired and designed to be really, really friendly. The builder wants them to be your best friend. Understand, they work for the seller. In this case, that happens to be the builder. It's no different than if you went and bought a house through the person who represented the seller when you bought your home in a resale neighborhood. That person's going to be obligated to work for that seller. I'm going to have that seller's best interests at heart. And so you'll want to have your own representation as well. So don't sign any of those, and really what you need to do is speak to a realtor first before shopping. It's okay to drive through the neighborhoods. When it's time to start looking at homes, have your representation with you. Now, with new construction homes, there's a couple different kinds of new construction homes. Number one, a spec home. I talked about that earlier. A spec home, or an inventory home, as it's sometimes called, is a home that is already under some form of construction or some phase of construction. Let me give you an example. A builder knows that everybody doesn't have 6 to 9 months to wait for a new construction home to build it from dirt. So they start homes and they want to get them through a certain percentage. Maybe they want to get it 75% done so that the person who comes to buy it only has a couple months to wait and can still make some choices. Potentially you could choose countertops or tile or carpeting depending on what phase the builder is in. With a spec home, you will be purchasing it in a similar fashion to the way you purchase resale homes. You'll do an inspection similar to the way you do an inspection for resale homes. Again, many builder representatives will tell you, you don't need an inspection. We do 14 inspections throughout the process. We check everything. This house is as close to perfect as it can be. Never believe that. I have had more issues with inspections on new construction homes than I get with resale homes. Because with a resale home, remember, somebody lives there. If a pipe starts leaking, you fix it. With a new construction home, you're the first person who deals with that. So if a pipe starts leaking or it's been leaking or it wasn't properly done, when you see a black spot on your roof forming from water, that's when you go ahead and get it fixed. That's why you need an inspection. Now, the other way you can build a new construction home is from the dirt. So you're going to build this new construction home. You're going to pick out the floor plan. You're going to pick out the lot that it goes on. You're going to pick out the countertops, the tile, the paint, just basically everything to do with the house. There'll be different elevations. Again, very important to have a realtor involved at this point because the realtor can say, no, that lot is a minus resale lot. That lot's a plus resale lot. This type, in this specific area on the Space Coast, one elevation may be much more popular than another elevation. That's how the front of the house looks. So you'll want somebody involved throughout the entire process giving you advice. You still pick what you like best, but understand that when you make those decisions, make it fully informed. Now, what can a realtor help you with on new construction homes? Well, really the entire process. Very similar to what happens with a resale home. The floor plan and functionality. Very important to understand a good floor plan here. As an example, in Houston, Texas, if you purchase a 2-story home and the master's on the 2nd floor, that's a real minus. Here, not that big a deal. So understand that in each area of the country, there are different things that you need to understand about resale, and that's where your realtor's really going to be expert. You'll want to know about the construction quality and have your realtor go over the construction quality with you. How is this house built? Is it properly built? Are there going to be things that in the way it was built that are drawbacks? As an example, is it a concrete block stucco house? Is it a frame construction house? How does that affect future value? Big difference. You're also going to need to have a realtor who understands what type of inspections are needed and helps you, gives you information about different inspectors that are expert in those areas. And you're also going to want to talk to your realtor about financing. Look, the builder's going to tell you, use our finance person, we'll save you 1%, we'll do this, we'll do that. Well, it all sounds great. Is it the best deal for you? We'll want to compare. We'll want to have finance people who aren't attached to the builder, finance people who are. We want to compare, and we want you to get the best possible deal. Just like with the inspector. There are different types of inspections. There are phased inspections, which you'll use when it's a dirt home. There are the similar home inspections to resale homes, which you'd use on a spec home. But you'll need to know the difference, and you'll need to know who is good at either one, and have your realtor make recommendations based on that. Very important that you hire somebody to represent you. The builder has somebody to represent them. Always keep that in mind. Thank you.